Okay, welcome to lesson 4 of topic 24, the sine and the cosine rule. Now, last lesson we looked at knowing and applying the sine rule, we looked at finding a side. Today we're going to look at finding an angle using the sine rule. So, title of the sine rule, and I just wanted to remind you of the difference between when we use the sine rule and when we use the cosine rule. So, when you look at these two triangles, you should be able to see the difference between when we use the cosine rule and when we use the sine rule. So if you look at this particular example here, you've got 3 sides and you're looking for an angle. Okay, that has to be cosine rule. When you look at this example, you've got 2 sides, 2 angles, both of them opposite to each other. Therefore, this is when we use the sine rule. Okay, 2 sides, 2 angles, sine rule. Now, similar to the cosine rule, we can't just use the formula in the same format. We have to rearrange it. Now, our standard sine rule looks like this. And when we're looking to find an angle, what we do is we flip the entire formula upside down. So we find the reciprocal of all those fractions, and we end up with this formula. I want you to write this into your books, please. Highlight it. Again, this is not something you're given, this is something you have to learn. And this is when you're looking to find an angle. So you use this form when you're looking to find an angle. So going back to this example, same as always, get rid of the labels that might already be there. And we'll label it ourselves. So we're looking at opposites, remember? So we're looking at the angle ABC is the one I'm looking for. So actually, before I do that, I need to know which angle I'm looking for, ABC, that one. Now I can get rid of the angles and the labels. So I'm looking at, if we call that A there, that lowercase a, and then B and B. So substitute in, sine of A is what I'm looking for, over 20, is equal to sine of 60 over 18. Now, similar to what we did last time with the sine rule, to get rid of this 20, I need to multiply it up. I need to multiply it on both sides, so I need to multiply it up there. So we're going to say sine A is equal to sine 60 over 18 multiplied by 20. And again, similar to what we did last time, you can write this all as one fraction by saying, and we're going to put the whole number at the front, so 20 times sine 60 over 18. Now either of those things is fine, okay? This will get you the same answer as this. So type that into your calculator and you get sine A is equal to 5 root 3 over 9. Now think back to when we did the angle of a cosine rule, we had to remember the last step, which is to cos to the minus 1 to get it as an actual angle. And we have to do the same thing here. So this is sine A equals, so we need to do sine to the minus 1 of 5 root 3 over 9, which gets me 74.2 degrees. Okay, and that's my answer. Okay, so I suggest you pause the video and copy down the example as it is. Okay, emphasise the flipping of the formula, emphasise the idea that you've got 2 sides, 2 angles, and make sure you get the sine to the negative 1 part down there as well. Okay, second example, very similar. Label your sides and your angles first. So I'm looking for, let's say, A here, and then B and B. So the formula looks like this when we're looking to find an angle. Sine A over A is equal to sine B over B. So I've got sine A is what I'm looking for, over 10, equal to sine 64 over 15. Multiply the 10 up. Remember to do sine to the minus 1 of your answer when you get there. Before we do that, we'll work that out. So that is, typing that into your calculator gets you 0.599. And then sine to the minus 1 of that is 36.8 degrees. Okay. Right, one more. Because again, sometimes you have a bit more work to do, either before the question or before the sine rule or after the sine rule. Now, when we look at this question, we're looking two sides, two angles. We don't have enough information to use the cosine rule. We don't have a third side, and we don't want a third side. So what we need to do is to find x here. But when I start labelling, I've got a here and a, and I've got b here and b. So this isn't too much of an issue, but what we've got to do is to use the sine rule to find that b, and then once we've done that, use 180 degrees in a triangle to get what x is ultimately. Okay. So set it up the same as normal. Sine a over a equals sine b over b. So we're going to use a first, so sine a over 20 is equal to sine b over 80. Multiply that up, and that's equal to sine b. So sine b, when we type that into our calculator, we get 0.883. We keep that in your calculator. Sine to the minus 1 of that number gets you 62.06. Now don't forget, that's not the answer. The answer we're looking for is 180 minus that answer, minus 79 as well. So 180 take away those two things, gets me an end answer of 38.9 degrees is my answer there. And to get that, we just did 180 minus the 62.06 and minus the 79. Okay, and that'll get you that answer. Okay, so again, I'd like you to copy down a couple of those examples, and then I'd like you to have a go at all the questions in the booklet, including the GCSE questions, and email your teachers if you've got any questions. Okay, thank you.